Good morning. Today is Friday. It's Meet the Teacher night, and I'm feeling better than yesterday. I've had time to think about it. I've had time to absorb. So I want to make this experience as positive as I can as a first-year teacher. Unfortunately, I won't be teaching what I want to teach, but I know that I'm placed here for a reason. One of my sweet friends messaged me after posting what had happened on Instagram. So if you aren't following me, follow me on Instagram. You'll find out all of the information going on for day-to-day activities earlier than here on YouTube. But she messaged me and said, you know, those students need you. You were put in that position because those students need you as their teacher for this year. And I never really thought of it that way. And what I thought I wanted, and I still really do want, but looking at it in a new perspective was really helpful. So thank you to my sweet friend Cindy for messaging me that and making me look at things differently. So I am here. I went to Walmart and got a couple of things for Meet the Teacher that I'm going to go ahead and begin working on. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up the classroom and getting ready to meet the teacher. Things aren't completely done. Yesterday's curveball definitely threw me off guard. And especially since I will not be teaching early childhood, the classroom is not really set up for that. I'm going to try to adapt my classroom. The top of my priority list now is really figuring out my schedule for these students, figuring out how I'm going to best support the students on my caseload. And so I'm going to be working a lot on making sure that I have the information that I need, meeting the general education teachers that my students are in, and really partnering with them to make sure that these students have what they need for this year. So classroom setup is kind of at a halt as far as things that I thought that I needed in my classroom. I'm not going to really need. I'm going to be using this space more as a resource teacher, but for early childhood. So I'm going to need some time to kind of figure all that out, I need to look at my students' IEPs, figure out what they need, and start to kind of figure out where I need to make adjustments in my classroom. The good thing is that I don't have to tear everything down. My principal did say that I can stay in the classroom since, you know, I did put time and effort into my classroom. So that's really nice of her to do. I do need to make some adjustments. It's just not going to happen right away. There's just not enough time. Meet the teachers today on Friday, and first day of school is on Monday. So I'm just going to try to do my best. So I'm going to go ahead and begin working on a few things for Meet the Teacher. So yes.
Lightning strikes by my window, hits my chest right in the morning, like a warning. Could have slept here for days. I felt your heartbeat, felt your mouth breathe, but it's not real. We were close to see the sun, but clouds got in our way, and so
right, so I got some gallon Ziploc bags, and since I am going to be teaching 1 pre-K student and 4 kindergarten students, I got some bags because you never know if there's a potty accident or if they happen to get something on themselves and they want to change. So my plan is to have each of my students have an extra pair of clothes in these bags and keep them in this classroom. So if they happen to be with me, we can easily get them changed, and they will have extra clothes here at school and ready to go. I also got this here from Especially Education. So I am going to write a little note about providing extra clothes in here for my parents and have them return that here to school, so that way we're prepared for any accidents that may occur. So I created these things I'm going to put in my Ziploc bags, but I want to create a little note here that says, you never know when you will need extra pair of clothes or something like that, and staple it up in the corner, so then that way parents aren't like, okay, why am I sending extra clothes? So I want to create like a little something and staple it up here, and then I'm going to stick them in each bag, and then I'm going to put them in their take-home folders. But I need to create it and get it printed, so I will do that here in a little bit. But right now I am putting my Meet the Teacher into their take-home folders, and then I also need to create labels. So I brought some labels to put on the child's folder, and then that's it for right now.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to.
So right now I bought a whole thing of binders. I got all of my IEPs printed, so I'm going to put them into binders and get myself organized with all of that. I also printed up from Especially Education assessment due dates. So I will put that in each student's binder, and IEP due dates. So this will give me kind of like a snapshot of when IEPs are due, and get myself ready to make sure that I have enough data and all of that stuff for my students.
In bad times, I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way.
So let me show you guys what I have planned for Meet the Teacher night. Remember, I've only had 1 day notice as far as what I will be teaching this year. So the first thing I did was I just got this little treat bag for my students. and then their take-home folder. So let me show you what is inside of it. So the first thing that you see is a label on here. I'm just covering it up for student privacy, to protect my students and myself and everybody at my school. So there is that. So when you open it up, on this side is all of the things that need to be signed and returned to school. And then on this side is things to read and leave at home. So the only thing on this side right now is the Meet the Teacher. So it's just information about me. So then on this side, I have information about extra clothes. Also on this side is parent contact information, and this information will be kept in a folder for us in case there's an emergency or anything like that. The next thing is just student information that is required from the school. And the last thing that I have in here is student information. So this right here will be filled out by my parents, what they think that their child's favorite snack is, their motivation, and then when they become frustrated, what helps comfort them. So this just gives me a snapshot of what might motivate my students as I work with them. So these are all the things that I have for my Meet the Teacher. Now that I am ready for back to school, as in regards to my folders, I'm going to go ahead and start working on just cleaning up the space and then begin to work on my scheduling. So I'm gonna prop you guys up and I am going to go ahead and get started on cleaning.
'Cause I find my way, my way, my way, find my way, my way. I found my way, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. 'Cause I found my way, I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. 'Cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way, my way, my way. Find my way, my way. 'Cause I found my way, my way, my way. Find my way, my way. I found my way, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. 'Cause I found my way, I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. 'Cause I found my way.
You say you don't wanna get in trouble, that you're doing fine 'cause you got me. I don't wanna break your little bubble, but you gotta wake up to reality. 'Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are a proof of failure, you just gotta let them flow without judge. There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to.
Alright guys, so it's about 2:30 right now. 2 more hours until Meet the Teacher. So I have about an hour, I say, and 10 minutes before I start getting ready for Meet the Teacher. So my classroom is basically set up for Meet the Teacher. It still feels somewhat empty, but with the curveball that we all know by now, it kind of put me in a standstill. I'm still kind of debating how I'm going to adjust my classroom. So let me kind of flip you around. Let me show you what the progress is like, and let me show you what we have done so far. First things first, everything is off the tables. Oh, there's a paper clip right here. I'm gonna grab that. All right, so everything's off the table. I need to wipe them down still. This right here, I need to ask the custodians again to take it out of my classroom. I know they're extremely busy, so not something that needs to happen right now, but for sure something that needs to get out of the classroom. This area is going to be my calm down area. I will be back this weekend just to make some final touches. So I will be bringing my tent and setting up the calm down area. Pretty much everything is off of the table over here. I went ahead and hung up my amazing work sign. I absolutely love how this came out. It came out amazing. Cleaned off this area. This area is going to be my when I pull for instruction, it's going to be my literacy area. So I have distinct areas. The one right behind my small group is going to be math. So this area is done. I went ahead and put my math, my language arts stuff that I already have. The good thing about going to early childhood is I taught pre-K for 10 years, or early childhood for 10 years. And so I have a lot of resources. I have not gone through all of it yet. I just wanted it to look nice. And then during the weekend and things like that, I will be updating the classroom. It'll slowly come together. Here is the library area. I just put this little thing up just so that way I had something on the board. It looks cute, not great, but cute. And then I just basically put my books here. I went ahead and just put these here. I still need to figure out how I want to use this area. Since I am working with littles, I don't want to put too much out. I think that'll be a little overwhelming, but maybe I can put books here for them. And majority of my students are actually just going to be in their classroom a lot of the time. So I think having this whole area for a library doesn't make sense. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do with that area, but I'll put my thinking cap on and figure that out. So that's basically what my classroom is looking like right now. Okay, so I am on my way home from Meet the Teacher night. It was harder than I thought, simply because of everything that has transpired from me being leveled. And I know what happens, and I want to say to everyone on Instagram and all of my friends and family who have reached out to me, I just want to thank you guys. It means the world to me to know that I have so many people like you supporting me and just encouraging me through this time. I am excited. I was able to meet one of my students. I still don't really have a confirmed roster or list of students that are on my caseload. So on Monday, I am just showing up, and fortunately, all of the students that I think I have do majority inclusion. So I will be supporting them in the actual classroom. So the one good thing is I really don't have to lesson plan. I am going to create a couple of things that I would like to be able to maybe pull out students one-on-one just to kind of get to know them a little bit better. So I'm planning to do that over the weekend. Good morning. Today is Sunday, August 14th. It's the day before school starts. So I came into my classroom. A few things that I got over the weekend, I actually got on Friday. So I came to be able to set that up. And then I also came because I needed to get a schedule and start kind of figuring out my schedule. I still don't really know who's on my caseload. So I'm still trying to figure that out. So on Monday, the plan is for me to just kind of hang out in the kindergarten classroom as well as the pre-K classroom of the students that are going to be on my caseload, and I'm just going to be doing more inclusion. I still am creating some things that I can do in my classroom. So I think what I'm going to do is at some point during the day, I am going to try to pull them out for maybe like 30 minutes, just so that way I can get one-on-one time with them and start really developing that bond with my students. And then have them come into this space and just kind of look around. Obviously, it's not completely set up. So classroom setup, I think, is going to be done after today. So this is the last day of classroom setup. And then as I go on and as I learn this new role, I will be making changes and I'll keep you guys updated. I'm going to take you guys along this journey. All right, so the first thing I got was Velcro. So I actually got this Velcro because I thought I was going to be teaching life skills. And so my plan was to have each individual student schedule here. So that way when they walked into the classroom, they can see the schedule and be able to know what they were going to be doing. Obviously, I will be keeping this Velcro and storing it away for right now until I figure out what I want to do with it. The next thing I got is this pocket chart, and what it is, it's for file folders. And so my plan for this here was to hang it up right here in this corner, and I was going to write my students' names in there and be able to have data just like in the pockets. So I still might hang that up. I haven't quite decided. This here was for schedules. I was going to put like a schedule up. I don't think I need that anymore since I'm not having students in the class full time. And then the last thing I got was a pocket chart for a calendar. I got a white one. I really wanted a black one, but black and white is kind of my theme with pops of color. So I'm going to put this up. I did print some things up, so let me show you what I printed up. Okay, so the things I printed up that I still need to cut and laminate are, I printed up rules for the classroom. So I'm still going to hang this stuff up in on basically this big board. I'm still gonna hang them up. I think it's important, even though this room is going to be used more as a resource room, there are still rules and expectations when they're in this classroom, and I want them to know what is expected of them when they come here. I printed this out. I'm going to put these in my 2 centers. So my plan is, in this corner here is going to be my literacy center. So when I come in, I will be teaching literacy in this corner. And then if I flip around, I'm sitting at my small group area. This area is going to be math. So I'm going to hang these things up into those 2 areas, and before we get started with a lesson or before we start working one-on-one, we are going to go over our ready to learn checklist. So there's that, and then here is a visual for each for the students to see. So I printed up this one, and then I also printed up let's see, where is it, this little girl too. So there's that. And then this is just, it just says classroom expectations of what I'm going to put up on this board here. And then let's see, what else did I print up? All of this, by the way, is from Especially Education. If you don't follow her on Teachers Pay Teachers as well as on Instagram, I highly recommend. She is a great resource for special education. So definitely something I will be always on the lookout for and looking for. So these are just like stories, social stories on following directions. And so there's just all of the stuff that I still need to cut and prep. So that is it. So I'm going to go ahead and set you guys up. I'm going to try to figure out what I'm going to put up. I do have a couple of things that I need to put up on my big board. There's a huge board that they require us to decorate. So I think I'm going to work on that as well and get that up and ready to go. So yes. All right.
You just gotta follow the light. You're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to be. I see you hesitating while you're waiting, like somebody's gonna give it to you. You gotta chase it, gotta believe it. You gotta go get it for yourself. 'Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are proof of failure. You just gotta let them flow without judge. There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light. You're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to be. You don't have to be ready.
Okay, so this is set up for the first day of school. So that's ready to go. I created these on PowerPoint. They do have the glare. I did not have a chance to buy that spray paint so that way it doesn't have a glare, but it is what it is. We are now, it's more like going with the flow. Yeah. So I went ahead and put these numbers up. I did create some colors, and now that I'm teaching younger grades, I think I'm going to put them here on this thing, but I did not bring them with me. So that'll be a project for another time. So there's that. And then I was charging my phone, so I was not able to get this, but I went ahead and finished my class expectations, and then I put a number line there. So this is the way this area is looking. I am going to leave this anchor chart here, and it'll be something that we do together as a class for whatever we're learning. So there's that. And then the only other thing that I put up was this pocket chart where I can take students' data. So there's that. Now, let's see. I have a couple of things that I still need to do. I want to hang up my alphabet. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to hang it up there or if I'm gonna hang it up here. That is where the previous teacher had it. I don't know. I don't know where to hang it up at. So I know I want to hang those up. And then the other thing after that I'm going to try to do is the bulletin board outside. So I'm going to set you guys down and figure out where I'm going to put those alphabets. Okay guys, it is 1 o'clock. I'm going to go home. I have not eaten today. I'm hungry, and I want to show you what I've done so far. This is the best it's going to get before the first day of school. Not that many students are going to be in here anyways, because I'm going to be supporting students in the classroom and doing inclusion time with them so that way they can get acclimated to their homeroom classroom. And then I might bring them into my classroom for maybe 30 minutes just to kind of get to know them a little bit better, where I have like a first day activity that we're going to do. I have a area for pictures that I'm going to have them take for their first day. And so I really haven't planned much because they're not going to be with me. I'm going to be with them. So I am going to go ahead and walk you guys around, show you what I did while I was here. All right, so the first thing I did was I hung up my number posters. I did print out some colored ones. I need to laminate them. So those are what's going to go right here. But for right now, this is done. I also went ahead and put classroom expectations and a calendar up here. I also have a anchor chart. So when we come in here and do lessons, this is all set up. I think it's very important, even if students aren't here full time, students need to know what the classroom expectations are. And so this is what I chose as my classroom expectations in my classroom. So the first one is listening ears, trying your best, hands and feet to yourself, and always be respectful. So those are the 4 that I decided to put on here. This little classroom expectation is from Especially Education. I will make sure that I link her down below. So that way, if you want to get these are free. You can get them yourself for your classroom. Oh, and then I also went ahead and hung up the number line. The next thing that I did is this area is somewhat done. Obviously my desk area is kind of messy. I'm going to clean that up before I leave. That area is still the same. I hung up that little macrame just as a little decoration. I hung up this reading sign, and then what else did I do? Oh, I fixed this area here for my welcome board. I'm going to kind of stay back a little bit. There is some information that I don't want to show. So there is that. And then the last thing I did was I did my big bulletin board out in the hallway, but it's dark, so I'm not going to show you guys that. But that is it for my classroom setup. I really hope that you enjoyed classroom setup. Make sure that you hit that like button if you enjoyed watching. Hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure that you follow along for my journey. I'm going to be documenting my whole journey as much as I can, being a early childhood special education teacher. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.